welcome to another episode of the Rondell Lane podcast, episode number 24. And today we are with Deanna.
Hi.
On this podcast, we kind of like to do a little background. So first off, just tell me where you're from. You got a unique look. Like, what's your...
Thank you. I'm from Greensboro, which is boring enough. My background is my dad's from Jordan, which is where hopefully the interesting comes from.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm just from Greensboro.
Okay. You are a musician?
I am.
How long have you been doing music?
I would say it feels like a complicated answer, even though it shouldn't be, but I played piano at like 11 and then saxophone, which I unfortunately no longer know how to play, but I do still own it. But so I always was like a musician. So I guess you could say I started at 11, but singing wise, I didn't get into that until later. But I always played keyboard growing up.
Okay.
So,
I played trombone.
Trombone.
From 6th grade until my junior year.
What makes you want to start that?
I think I just needed
A
an
hobby.
elective or something. Yeah. So
It's just a heavy. Isn't that the big one?
Yeah.
To carry that
like
around those stairs.
Yeah.
You still
So,
play?
Nah.
No. See, we gotta pick it back up.
Yeah, you reminded me when you said the
Yeah,
saxophone.
we gotta pick it back up.
I couldn't do anything with that now.
No.
So we did a photo shoot. We're just wrapping up a photo shoot. So
We did, which is why I have my third eye on.
yeah, she's still in character. This was our first cosplay.
Yeah, no, this is just me on the daily. Black lipstick,
Speaking of, why did I bring that up?
Photo shoot. I don't know.
Why did I bring? I was,
He's like, what was my segue?
yeah, I was segueing. What was I saying?
Banter.
Oh yeah, I know I said that. During our photo shoot, I noticed you have a wide range of, I guess, music that you like.
Yes.
So where did that come from?
I think it came from the fact that, no offense to my mom if she happens to be listening, but uncultured music was what I grew up with. No, I say that half jokingly, okay? Because my dad's music was Arabic music, which I did play one Arabic song out there. So I do enjoy those kinds of songs, even though I can't understand most of them. I love that kind of music. It makes you, and I don't dance, but it makes you want to like move your hips and stuff, So I've got like that side of music that I like, and then I've got like rap that I like to work out to and whatnot, and like make me feel like a bad bitch, But then most of the stuff I listen to, I'd say 80 to 90% of my music is like just modern R&B, like neo soul type of wave.
What artist inspires you for your sound or the type of music that you do?
For my sound, I would say mainly Janae Aiko, and artists like her, Her,
Yeah.
And Kiana Lede is a great artist. Who else do I listen to? Kaylani is like, my number one, honestly. Like, I love her so much. So yeah, those types of girls, like SZA, all the like newer R&B girlies, really.
So you would consider your genre like R&B?
I do, but I also hesitate to say that because I feel insecure about the fact that as a person who is not black, like, am I able to, and I know that like genre doesn't necessarily have like a race to it, but like realistically, how seriously will people take me as like, oh, like, new R&B artist? So I kind of say like pop and R&B, that way it's like safer.
You got Eminem.
Yeah,
he's a rapper,
yeah. But I do think that like when I listen to my music, or make it rather, it's reminds me of the R&B music I listen to. It's definitely not mainly pop, because pop, I think like it's a bop, and like it's upbeat mainly, and mine is normally not upbeat. So I don't know. So, I'll leave that to the listener.
Gotcha. So you said you played Arabic music, but you don't understand it?
Yeah,
so you don't know how to speak the language?
I don't, unfortunately, because
you're not bilingual at all.
Barely. Like I know, like the curse words, obviously, and like the bad things that if I like did something as a kid, my dad would say like something in Arabic, so I'd be curious as to what that meant, so I would find out,
Yeah.
So I know like common phrases like growing up, and just common phrases that people would know in English and Spanish, but I definitely could not hold a conversation with anyone speaking Arabic. I might be able to understand them speaking, honestly, because I can pick up on like a few words and know what they're talking about, but definitely can't speak to them aside from like, hey, how's it going? I'm good, So yeah, because my mom just speaks English, so I I wasn't able to learn as much as I should, but no excuses. I do want to still learn.
Yeah. Have you ever been there?
I haven't. That's my next. I want to get my passport so I can go, but it's very expensive, and I want to go with my best friend who is also Jordanian, so that I have someone who speaks Arabic, and she knows, like, she's from there, like born. So I would, have a tour guide, if you will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got my passport 2019.
Yeah.
I was supposed to go to China. My daughter's mom was she was supposed to go teach over there.
Oh my God.
And then it was like a long process. And when she finally got everything, like the green light to go,
Yeah.
it was March of 2020, and then pandemic.
Oh.
So the whole thing got.
Oh.
Yeah.
I wish she was disappointed she couldn't do that.
Yeah, we were gonna be there for 3 years.
Did you go anywhere since you got your passport then, or?
I went to Mexico.
Okay. At least you took advantage
2021.
of it.
Went to Mexico.
How was it?
It was nice. It was nice.
Yeah.
I loved it. Like the culture is.
Yeah.
It was pretty dope.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was there for like 3 days. I had a wedding. I went there to shoot a wedding.
3 days are short-lived, but
yeah, but I mean, we had 2 days just to do whatever because
Yeah.
the wedding is just one day.
that's true.
So
Yeah.
it was for a whole weekend. So
Yeah.
it was pretty cool.
Very fun.
With music though, I always like to ask. So through social media and interviews with artists, everybody talks about how there's no money in music. Like nowadays, the deals are terrible contracts. So knowing that, what makes you still want to do music?
It's a good question. I would say because I'm not, in it for the money mainly, is what makes me do it. Because if I was doing it as just like, oh, let me find something that it makes good money. If I wanted that, I would become a doctor. Because anything medical is, obviously it's not easy to get into, but it's, easy to find a job in and get money. Whereas anything artistic you're doing, you're going to be like a starving artist for a while. So I'm just serving, steaks in the meantime while I am trying to accomplish the dream of making it my career. But yeah, I would just say, I guess I don't know where I was going with that. I'm sorry. I guess that's the point I was trying to make, is that it's not for the money. But eventually I'm hoping that it can be,
But I understand when creatives say that, but
yeah. Like you make a little bit of money, but it's just nothing right now in comparison to what I spend, buying instrumentals and like visuals are very expensive.
Right.
So there's like all of that people don't, even consider.
Right.
But yeah, one day.
Yeah. Do you do your own recordings? Do you go to studios?
I do. I started off going to a studio, Trap House Studios, and then I eventually, just wanted to I'm a perfectionist, and I wanted to stop doing like the whole, hey, can you edit like this part right here, and then you have to communicate I would rather just do it myself. So I went to school for music business so that I could kind of not only just meet people who also know more about doing this than I do, that could help me out, but also to learn about how to use Pro Tools, because I knew that was something that the GTCC I was attending for music business was doing, and they have a really good program. So highly recommend the High Point G-Tech. Shout out to the professors there. Had to do that. But yeah, they have a great program that people don't even realize. So I credit that place a lot to what I learned how to record myself. So now I got my humble little studio.
Do you do any performances, open mics, anything like that?
I do. My favorite open mic is called Thinking Out Loud at the Artist Block, which is, have you been there?
Never heard of it.
It's like a hole-in-the-wall place on Westgate City, so old, High Point Road, I guess. And I don't even know what it's near, but I'll have to put you on because they do it. They have lots of events there in general, but they have this one every second Friday of every month. And Carmen Bliss is the host of it, and I've come to love so many people that go there. A lot of people I don't recognize there because it's been going on so many years now that there's a lot of new faces and stuff, but I have a lot of friends there that every time I go, it's just, you see old musician buddies and people you haven't seen in a couple, months, years, whatever. But speaking of that, I honestly haven't been to that open mic in a long time. I think I want to say a year, which doesn't feel like it's been a year. But I haven't. I performed in March at another bar, but the Artist Block, I actually had a panic attack in the middle of my performance because I again am a perfectionist and I forgot my words. Not due to me not knowing my lyrics, but because of the fact that I was nervous. You know what I mean? Like, I kind of just, like, blanked, if you will. So I was really mad at myself for that, and I kept going, and everyone was so supportive of it, which, like, made it so just, like, even more emotional for me, because I know that everyone else was like, girl, it really was not a big deal, but because in my head it was, I just, like, I, like, started bawling.
Really? On stage?
Yeah. No, not on stage. Oh. I have too much pride for that. But right after I got off stage, like, it was because the hostess was, like, Carmen was saying, like, the sweetest thing to me, and I was, like, looking at her, and she was, like, just being like, Jade, like, every time you come here, like, my vocals sounded good. Like, I had hot tea before, and, like, I sounded great. But because I was nervous, I just, like, blanked on the words, and it just spiraled downhill from there. So she was telling me, like, all these nice things about how, you know, like, just, like, oh, you sound great. But it was, like, for me, it wasn't good enough, you know? So I just started fucking bawling. And I didn't leave because, again, like, that just would be a bad look. But I went outside, took a little breather, had some people hug me, and then I came back in. But I haven't been to the open mic since then because I wanted to, like, get my mental straight before going back because I don't want it to happen again, you know?
I was going to ask you that, like,
yeah,
if you get nervous. I'm an introvert.
I do. I get really, I am very vocal on my social platforms, you know, whatever you want to call it, Instagram, about, like, my stage fright because that was a big reason why, like, I didn't sing for a while because I couldn't even sing in front of my sisters, which is, like, really weird. You know, people are always like, really? Like, why do you care? I don't know. I just, like, people would be like, oh, how does that song go again? And I wouldn't even want to, like, recite the song, you know? Like, I just, like, have a fear of, like, judgment and, like, people being like, oh, like, she can't sing. She sounds like shit. But I had to, like, let that go and realize that even if someone can sing, you might not like their voice. So I'm not going to be able to please everyone. And even if I am hitting every, like, note perfectly, someone's going to, you know, not like my voice. So I just have to, you know, get over that. Because I enjoy doing it. So fuck them.
That's crazy. Like, I couldn't imagine having stage fright and choosing to
be frightful. Yeah, it's something I literally battle every time because I think that I'm, like, fine, but then when I go to perform, like, even, I'm not gonna lie to you, even, like, the photo shoot today, like, I was nervous the whole day, and I don't even know, like, the reason. It's like I get anxiety of, like, having to get ready for something, and then, like, I want it to come out, like, how it is in my head, you know? So I'm nervous pretty much before any event I do, like, any event. I'm just, like, super anxious the entire fucking day. Literally, my sister will be like, oh, like, are we going to the gym today? And I'm like, no, because I want to mentally prepare. And she's like, what do you mean? I'm like, yeah, I have to prepare for the photo shoot that's not for 7 fucking hours. She's like, okay. I'm like, listen, I just am weird. But yeah, it's something I struggle with, but I want to use it as, like, a thing in the future, you know, if I make it, if you will, you know, when I make it, knock on wood, that, like, other people who might struggle with something similar, you know, being scared to, like, sing in front of people or perform in general, whatever, like, play saxophone in front of people, I don't know, will do it anyway because I just had that fear of judgment. And as soon as I got out of high school, honestly, I was just like, you know, I just want to do... You don't care if I cuss, because I cussed once, right? Do you care?
You cussed a couple times.
Okay. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I'm saying.
Well, I was like, you're like, yeah, it's past that point.
Yeah.
Past that point. ADHD, I forgot what I was saying.
You were saying you're trying to encourage people to...
Oh, yeah. Thank you. Yeah. So I want other people to see, like, okay, if she can do it, then I can showcase this talent that I believe I have and want to nurture. And I'm just going to do it, you know, too. Yeah. So just do it.
Yeah. You hear it, just do it, people.
Nike, just do it.
Yeah, starting a business got me a little more open because I was. You
said you're introverted?
Yeah, very much so. Yeah. Like I remember my first couple of photo shoots, I was just like thinking in my head like, what kind of banter can I make while I'm shooting? Yeah. So I started bringing my my girlfriend at the time because she's like real talkative.
Yeah.
So I just let her.
You just let her, and then you
took notes. I just focus on shooting, like. Yeah. But I'm like a lot more open. 5 years ago I would never see myself doing a podcast or doing YouTube videos because I didn't want to be in front of the camera. But it's cool. Speaking of that, how do you market yourself as an artist? Do you what do you do for your platforms?
I do. I tried to take advantage of like, what is it? I guess like when you boost social media post, you know how you can pay to like Instagram, whatever. I didn't see like the best results from it, but then again, I mean, I am not exactly putting more than $200 towards that particular method of marketing. So maybe, I don't know if you
That's
put
a lot.
Yeah, that's what I thought. And you know, so thank you. Yeah, it didn't get the results I wanted. You know, you get like some additional likes maybe from people that might not have seen you. So maybe like they'll follow you. I'm not saying it's, you know, not, I mean, I'd say it was worth it, you know. But that's not like a main avenue. I would say the main thing that I try to do is post videos, as basic as that sounds, because you and I were talking about earlier how Reels on Instagram and like TikTok is like the thing that people want videos now for some reason. I really like pictures. I had no problem with the pictures.
Yeah, I missed that.
I love photos. Yeah. But everybody wants videos now, so I've been trying to, I'm really bad about like being consistent with content, so that's something that I need to work on. But as you know, I worked with, you know, a videographer recently, and we did the setup where it's like a whole bunch of reels that you can do. So I've been, you know, using those that I can just post like throughout certain times. So I'd say like making videos, like short videos that, you know, catch your eye as far as like the color. And I'm really big on like my branding. Like I asked you to change the light purple because like we did Raven, you know, and I'm big on like colors and just things being like a theme. So in every visual I do, there's like some kind of theme. And the one I did this previous time, I've been really rocking with the whole like, you know, jade is green, obviously, like that kind of like emerald green color, right? So a couple years ago, I was doing this like photo shoot before the visuals that was like plants in the background, as you saw, and like just like a kind of emerald green dress. Not like, it doesn't have to be, but you know, like just very much like the plants vibe, green, all that. Right. So then I kept the plants in the background. Then I changed to the red. So then I was like, oh, like, okay, the red is kind of a vibe too. Like I can do like a very like romantic vibe with this. And I had a song that had like a lyric, Calvin Klein talking about like roses. So I wanted to kind of, it was like me singing the song and then wearing the red, you know. So everything is like thought out, you know. Gotcha. So I'm big on like visuals because I feel like when I'm watching music videos, I'm more inclined to like the song that I'm listening to if it's like the first listen, you know, than I would be if I wasn't watching something with it. Yeah. Right? Do you feel that way? Yeah. I feel like if someone can like visualize along, even if they might not have like enjoyed the song, they might like it a little more.
Sometimes there's been songs I didn't really like, but once I saw the video,
it makes you appreciate it.
Yeah.
You know? And you're like following the story more.
Yeah. So speaking of that, I did some behind the scenes photos of that when you guys were shooting the video.
Oh, cool.
And everyone comes in and is like, "Yo, I need that fabric."
Oh, really?
I'm like,
you're like, yeah, she brought it herself.
Yeah, I'm like, they set that up. This is just a space, buddy.
That. Yeah,
like,
this is.
You gotta do your own set design.
Yeah, you're gonna have to hit up Jaded for that.
Yeah.
Tell him to go to Amazon and look up a green silk bed sheet.
That's all it was?
That's all it was. A bed sheet. Yep. Okay.
Call me Jaded. That's your Instagram handle.
It is.
Where's that come from? Because Jaded is a bad thing, right?
It is, yeah, and I'm glad that you recognize that.
So why should we call you Jaded?
Yeah, good question. So Call Me Jaded came from, I wanted something that was like concise and easy for people to look up on Instagram as far as the handle goes, because Deanna Judeh is like, it's not that it's a hard name, but like for someone who's like, oh, how do you spell that? It's just too much for a first listener who's trying to follow me, you know?
I think it stands out though.
Well, thank you. I think eventually, like if I get more of a following, I'll go to my real name, because I didn't realize there's also another Jaded on Spotify, so sometimes they accidentally put our songs on each other's profiles, but yeah, we get it, you know, fixed. But yeah, eventually I'll probably just do my name, but Jaded's just like short. But aside from just the simple fact of it's easy, you know, to remember, it's a oxymoron, because the term jaded, I don't know the exact Google definition, but I know that when you think of jaded, it's like a negative connotation of like that person. Normally, I feel like it's regards to like money in a way, because they're like, normally I think jaded, I think of either a celebrity or someone who's really wealthy who has, I think part of the real definition is like when you have so much of something that it's not that you don't care, but that you're
kind of like taking it for granted.
Yeah, like yeah, that's a good way to put it. Cause I'm like, I was gonna say you're jaded to it, but I can't use the word in the definition. But yeah, you have so much of something that you take it for granted, and it kind of just like doesn't have the same meaning to you, and you take it for granted. So, people that have a whole bunch of money, they're wiping their ass with $100 bills, like that 100 to me is pretty valuable. So it's like, but anyway, so the term jaded, it's an oxymoron because I wanted it to be known that like I will never become that person, because I have like a really good support group and just like friends and family who I feel strongly would never like let me get that way, as far as like being a brat.
To be fair though, everybody says that.
They probably do, and I guess only time will tell,
Yeah.
Maybe I'm already a fucking brat now, so it won't matter. So nothing will change. Nah, but yeah. So I just wanted to be an oxymoron, really.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
If you could do a collab with anybody, like who would it be?
Kehlani. Yeah.
What about a rapper? Have you ever done a collab with a rapper?
Oh yeah, I have lots of rapper friends that like a famous rapper.
No, just in general.
Oh yeah, lots. Yeah, because like pop artists, they collaborate with rappers. It's kind of cool to bring those two like together, like different sounds. So yeah, all the time. A famous rapper I'd collaborate with. I would honestly love to work with Childish Gambino, Donald Glover.
He's not a rapper.
Well, he used to be. I mean, he still is. He's just very talented in general.
He's pop.
Man, okay. Well, who else? Who's a real rapper?
I thought you would have said J. Cole.
I mean, I would definitely, if he would work. I would definitely work with J. Cole.
He's been killing features lately.
He's amazing. He can. I feel like he can be on any song. Like it don't matter if it's pop, R&B. Like he could be on any song and write a really good verse.
Yeah.
A verse or three.
Lil Wayne's the same way.
Yep. Lil Wayne was our Ariana Grande song, which I found surprising, and it was good.
Yeah.
Future was on I would work with Future. I feel like he's got like good melodies, that could like mix in. I don't know. Yeah. Some rappers are just which nothing, that's their sound, whatever. Some rappers that try to collaborate with me are like too hard in a sense, like the music's too like I'm like, you don't want me on this. Like I'm gonna kill the vibe, like, so there's levels to that shit.
Have you ever tried to rap?
I do what I call like sing-song rap, which I would refer to as like some of like Drake's. I mean, Drake is still a rapper, and like he's a rapper singer, but like some of his like more like melodic raps, if that makes any sense at all.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, like okay, I did a cover of Jungle. Do you remember that song?
Jungle?
Yeah. I'm not gonna try to sing right now.
Come on,
give us like shit.
Give us an exclusive.
But that one's like lower. Like my lower range is actually the one that my mom prefers. So like rapping is kind of, I can like use that lower range. So I experiment with it. I would say.
Gotcha.
I experiment with it, but I don't think I have bars.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So maybe if someone wrote me rap, I'd be willing to like rap it, but I would have to find like my rap voice.
Yeah. You need a ghostwriter.
Yeah, I need a ghostwriter.
I know some people. Yeah.
My fucking friend actually has been like begging me to rap, and I'm like, if you write me a rap, I'll try it, but if I sound cheesy, I'm not gonna release it. Yeah. I refuse to sound cheesy.
Do you have any projects out right now or anything coming soon?
Oh yeah. So my projects, I've got a few that if you just want to check out under Jaded, all the discography. But Make Me Sing was a 2021 album I'm really proud of. And then my latest one is Won't Ever Say, that came out in March, which is the one we did the visuals for. Yeah. And that one's definitely my best so far. I mean, I feel like, you always improve with time, right? So that one in March, I would say definitely check that one out if you're a first-time listener. Again, that's Won't Ever Say. It's really good. And it's based off the last track, which is one of my favorite songs. And then I actually have a Halloween song dropping on Saturday with a rapper.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's a little different than what I normally do. He wrote the chorus, and it's like hip hop pop kind of song, but it's really cool. And it's called Freddy versus Annabelle, like the Halloween Freddy, and Annabelle the doll. Yeah. And so he wrote the chorus, so it's like something different. I feel like if my friends heard it, they'd be like, oh, like, this is like more upbeat for me and stuff. It's not like a slow, sad song, But it's really good. I feel like I wrote, my verse, and he wrote all his own stuff. And ironically, a couple of people have actually said that he sounds like Childish Gambino, my friend. Right. Yeah, his name's Rosario. He's really good. So I'll leave that up to the listener. Not that, I know people don't like to be compared also to like sound just like someone. But, you know, like, you can still take inspiration. He doesn't sound just like him, but inspiration from people. He's, you know, they're both just talented people. So I'm excited about that because it's very explicit, I will say, but it's really upbeat and I don't know, it's just different for me and I like it.
Where is it going to be?
Everywhere. It'll be Spotify, Apple Music, Pandora, Amazon, everything.
Okay. So it's your song?
It's technically both of ours. I'm just releasing it through like my distribution label, if you will, just because he's really my friend, you know, that's on it. He's very low key and he doesn't have like he doesn't use like TuneCore or anything. He's actually never released his own music. Okay. But he makes music all the time and I've known him since like elementary school. But he just doesn't drop his music, which is really annoying to me.
I know people like that.
Yeah.
They got a computer full of music.
He's got a computer full of music, but he's you know, I respect if you're a perfectionist and you're like, oh, it'll never be good enough. I don't want to release it because it's just not good enough, whatever. But you have to, you know, eventually it's like, well, unless you tweak it to be good enough to your standard, you're never going to drop anything. Right. So yeah, I actually had to fight him to release this because we made this song 2 years ago.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Jeez. It hasn't been touched in 2 years, and I played it for my older sister for the first time, and she was like obsessed with it, and she was just like, yeah, like this is really good, like I could hear it on the radio, and so she was like, you need to drop this. So I asked him again, I'm like, so can I drop this? Because he wanted to do a music video, and I'm still down to do that, but it would just take a lot of like, you know, he wants to like dress as Freddy, and like we need to do like Halloween makeup and stuff, so it'd be a lot. Right. But I'm down for it. I'm always down for whatever, so if he tells me, hey, let's do this music video, I'm going to do it. But I finally convinced him to let me drop the damn song.
The project you filmed here, was that your first video?
Right. Technically, no. I had Dubai, which I really love that video. So if you want to check out my music video, it's called Dubai, and my friend Darius shot that. He's a talented videographer as well. I had a video before that, but I deleted it. It was actually with an ex, and it wasn't just because it was like with my ex, but it wasn't like what I envisioned, or, you know, I just it had been a few years, and, you know, to my standard, I was like, no, I can do better, you know? So I had an older video, and then Dubai now I'm proud of. So Dubai is the only one other than the newer visuals, and those are live, so I don't even know if I would count them as like a music video per se, but you know, visuals. Yeah, because my friends will be like, what the hell do you mean when you keep saying visuals? I'm like, visuals. Something moving.
Yeah. I have a friend, he calls everything, he's like, I need those visuals.
Yeah, I love it because it's so vague. Yeah. Like, it could be anything. Like, it could be a 3-second clip that repeats itself over and over, and it's still a visual, you know, it's still visual.
Do you do any it's like other ways to make money with music? Do you do like any vocal lessons, teaching people?
I don't, but I actually would like to get into like, okay, you know how you can purchase like those guitar loops for like, you know, samples for beats and whatever. I want to my friend does that plays guitar, and was telling me, I don't know if he like makes a lot, but it's one of his like side hustles, you know, and I think that's how people eventually make, you know, wealth, is they have a whole bunch of side hustles, you know. So I want to make one of those little like vocal loop packs, and I don't know how, but maybe with some help I could eventually do that. That would be cool.
Yeah, photographers do like this thing called LUTs, like when you're editing. Yeah. So like if you film something flat, it's basically like with no major colors. Then you drop a LUT on it.
Oh. And it like a filter? Kinda.
That's essentially
like an edit.
Yeah.
Like I'm giving you my edit.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, they sell those.
I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah, you can make money just taking random photos of like leaves, trees. If you're traveling, landscapes, and upload them to sites, and people download those for like anything. I mean,
everybody needs stock photo.
Yeah, that's what it is. Stock photos.
Yeah.
I was blanking on the term, but
No, I know what you mean. Stock photo,
video footage.
You just gotta find the market for who will buy this, you know.
Yeah, there's websites you can put it on. Like, yeah.
I want to get into that, but I actually, you know, songwriters. I mean, I don't have the facts on this, but I want to say they make more than actual musicians, right?
Yeah, I've heard that.
And are you familiar with Victoria Monet?
I know the name.
I played a song of hers out there. I really love her. She's been in the game for a long time, but she's like up and coming as of the past, I guess, year. Like now she's kind of, her song On My Mama that came out, like I like, it's from her recent album, and I loved it immediately because it's like a really good workout song. But like it has literally taken over like the world by storm. Like there's people doing dances of it, so now she's like really becoming big. But little do people know, she actually co-wrote the Thank You Next album with Ariana Grande, because they're like really good friends apparently. And this was when she was just like, she was still singing and like performing, but was mainly like songwriting for artists. And she's worked with other artists. I just can't remember who off the top of my head, but I'm a fan of Ariana, so that's why I remember that. But they're like really good friends. So she's written so many, like if you look through Ariana's songs, she's written like half of them, like with her, you know. So I really like, how did I start talking about Victoria Monet?
Side hustles, like.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So I want to like write songs for people. Thank you for keeping me on track. But yeah, I would like to write songs for people because you know, you have your own life experiences, but I think it would be interesting to like for someone to give me, you know, something they're going through, and like kind of see how I would tackle writing, if I could write a song off someone else's emotions that are not actually mine, you know. I'm actually curious if I could do that. Because a lot of my songs are just, like, me freestyling and then editing, like, words as I'm going, you know? But it's, like, based off my own feelings, obviously. So I don't know if I could channel those emotions of someone else's, you know?
When you're constructing a song, do you try to think of something that will be, like, a TikTok song?
No, I mean, I thought you were going to say relatable, because I'm like, I try to think of something maybe relatable, but I don't honestly consider
I think nowadays
TikTok.
artists are, even your big artists, they're specifically trying to make songs that will pop on TikTok.
Here's the thing, but what makes a song, because so, you know how I don't really do like catchy, I don't want to say I don't do catchy, because if it's going to be like a popular song, I guess it's got to be like catchy in a way, but TikTok, I don't really know enough about like what makes something go viral on TikTok, you know? Because like when I hear songs, like, okay,
it's gotta have a dance.
It helps if it has a dance. It's gotta have like a dancey vibe. Because like, okay, the best example, the first thing that comes to my mind is "Say So" by Doja Cat, because that was like not first, but like one of the first like huge ass songs on TikTok where it was like everybody knew the dance, everybody knew the song. Like Doja was huge in her bag, and it was just like everywhere, and it's catchy, so I get like why that would be like a dance, whatever. But I don't dance, so I don't even like think about like, okay, what kind of like TikTok moves can I do with this, you know? I do have a song that had like a good clip where I felt like it sounded like a TikTok song, but I didn't like market it enough, so you know it didn't really like go anywhere. But yeah, I don't ever consider TikTok. I definitely should.
Yeah, man, that's
why I'm not there yet.
Yeah. Is Instagram, is that your most used social media app?
Yeah, honestly, mainly because I have more, my main following is on Instagram, and I feel like I'm like, even though I'm technically Gen Z, I feel like a millennial because I'm like I like love photos, and I don't know, making videos, obviously it requires more effort, as you know. Yeah. So it's just like, I feel like I need the whole day, and like, I know this sounds so dumb, but as a woman, I'm like, okay, like it's a video, like I want to look good, so like I want my hair and my makeup to be done, which that's something I'm trying to like not care about anymore, because I see a lot of people making content that goes viral where it's like it's just them being raw in the moment.
Yeah.
And I can tell they literally did not expect this shit to go viral, because they literally like they start the video and they're like, sorry, my hair looks like shit, and then it's like a really funny video or whatever it may be, and I'm trying to not be like, yo, take 2 hours to get ready just to do this video that gets 40 views, you know?
So me and my best friend was talking about that. Like I want a fresh haircut and all of that before. Yeah. It's like, you can't. Sometimes you just gotta.
Sometimes you can't be fresh.
Yeah, you just gotta go with it, man.
Yeah.
Because it makes you more relatable too.
Yeah, like, I agree. I actually, I thoroughly enjoy, not like enjoy, but I appreciate when I'm like watching my YouTubers, you know, whatever, like girls that I'm like makeup videos and stuff. Yeah. I love when they are showing like, not like showing their flaws, but like showing what they might think is like, you know, their flaw, and they like, they are like clearly like they don't care about it, or if they do, they're trying not to, you know. Right. And I appreciate like this girl Carla that I'm subscribed to, KB and Carla, she doesn't like wear makeup in every video, and I appreciate that because it shows that they're just like, that's not the point of the video. The point is that of the video that they're doing. You know what I mean? Like, and it shows that like women are not always, they don't have to always look like this, like, you know, one site that you see on Instagram or whatever.
Kardashian.
Like, yeah, like we look different. Honestly, like I look different all the time. Like I come into work and I look like a new bitch every day. Literally, my coworkers don't know who I am at any point. So I just think that it's like, I just want to own like not always having to be perfect, you know? Yeah. And just like do the video.
Have you ever performed like for like at weddings, or can people hire you?
I haven't, but I would be honored to. I'd be down.
You should look into that.
I'd be down. I don't even know who would, like, that would be such an honor. I would be so shocked if someone, like, loved my voice enough to want me to sing a whole wedding, you know?
Well, I know girls that do that. Like, they, you know, it's like
and
side hustle.
I love, like, love songs, so I feel like, because that's my problem, too, is, like, I used to do, like, art commissions, but I have a problem with, like, if I'm not passionate about it, I don't, like, my product isn't as good, you know?
Like painting?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but I don't do it much because it's, you know, I just do it when I feel like it.
Gotcha.
So it's like, if I'm doing songs that I, you know, don't really like, it's going to show. But
gotcha.
I feel like love songs is like my thing. So I'd be down to get into that.
All right. So before we get out of here, I'd just like to ask, like, when you're not writing songs or anything like work related, how do you relax? Like, what does Jade like to do?
Yeah. Well, I occasionally paint occasionally, as in like once a year, literally. And honestly, as boring as it sounds, like I just like to, because I'm always like, I just told my sister, I live my life in a rush. Like I was rushing here. I'm always like rushing. So what I enjoy doing is absolutely nothing. Like I love sitting in my bed and I love just like watching, you know, an anime show, or I just love relaxing and like smoking weed in my bed, honestly. Like truly, that is like at the end of my day, I look forward to that because I'm so go. But I love being on the go, you know. But that's my way to like decompress, is to finally sit down and stop moving.
Gotcha.
You know.
What's your what anime? What's your favorite anime?
I really like this one called Darling in the Franxx. It's kind of weird. Yeah, it's kind of like people like they either have like, I've never heard of that, or it's like, oh, like okay, weird that you like that one. But I like it a lot because the main character, her name is 02, and she's technically a demon, but she's really, really sexy. And she's like this girl with like pink hair and like little red horns, and like I think part of her appeal is the fact that like you're, you know, at first you're like, oh, she can't be a demon, like she just looks too good, but then you see how like she's like just crazy, you know, not crazy, you just have to watch it, but you know, she's not human. And then long story short, it's actually like a mecha anime, like it's kind of like not Transformers, but they have like those kind of mecha whatever contraptions. So it's kind of like that's the action of it, is that they fight in these machines, which is where the term Franxx comes from. And then Darling is this guy that she meets, which ends up being the lover of the show. But they kind of like, I love it because I'm a lover, and it like they transcend their love through like different lifetimes. Like they go through all these like demon trials and tribulations, and like they can only be together. So, like, literally, they can only be together. Like, when he tries, it's just really good. And they're in love, and I love them. So, Darling in the Franxx, if you haven't watched it, you should check it out. It's a pretty quick one-season watch. Really great.
The only anime I watched was back in college, and it was Inuyasha.
Yeah, I've never seen that one, actually.
It's pretty decent. Pretty decent.
Isn't that a long one?
Yeah.
Did you finish?
No.
You didn't finish?
No, it used to come on at like 11 o'clock at night or something. Adult Swim.
Yeah.
I think it was Adult Swim back then.
I used to not be able to watch that.
Really?
Yeah, no wonder I didn't see it.
I was in college. Yeah, so it would be on in the background, and like one day I just kind of
You just kind of started
I was like
watching it.
It's pretty interesting. My best friend told me I should watch Titans. Something Titans.
Attack on Titan?
Yeah.
See, everybody told me to watch that one too.
Oh, you hadn't seen it?
So I tried to get into that, and I know that this is like, I know that you don't watch anime, but just so you know, this is like the hottest of takes, is that I can't get into Attack on Titan. Because everyone has recommended that to me, and I've rewatched the first episode like 3 times. I don't know, something about it. I told my friend maybe it's because the main lead is not like a female role, like maybe I just can't relate, like And maybe stuff changes. I know it gets crazy. Everyone always tells me.
What do you mean you can't relate?
Like, okay,
I like Wonder Woman.
Like, darling, I know, like, and I don't always have to relate, but it's like, I am slightly gay, so I like to have a female anime character as the lead, you know?
So if you're playing, you're one of those people where if you're playing, like, Mortal Kombat,
yes.
you got to choose a girl?
I'm always playing Jade.
Come on, bro.
Or Melina. Or,
Melina's, she's...
Yeah, Katana who's the one with the fans? Katana. The fans go crazy. But yeah, I judge a book by its cover, and I like when there's like a strong female, but not just because of that. It's also just because I just want like a bad boss anime, role. And then, but if you haven't seen any anime, you should watch Death Note because that's what made me get into it.
I heard people talking about that.
Death Note is amazing.
That's on Netflix?
I believe so. If it's not, like, it's like easily accessible. Yeah. And that one's not actually a female role, but it's a great anime. It's amazing.
Now that you bring that up, yeah. I do have to ask a question. Mm-hmm. Like, so content now, especially remakes and everything, they're always kind of putting like a woman in that role or making a character gay that wasn't gay.
Yeah.
Are you asking for that? Does that make you feel validated, or are you like?
Oh, like they're trying to be inclusive, maybe?
Yeah. Is that...
Yeah. Do I feel like it's necessary?
Do you feel like that's necessary?
I don't think it's necessary to the extent in which it's done. But I don't think in anime it's as bad as it would be with, like... I've seen it done a lot with, like, superheroes, maybe.
Yeah, it's like American stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like what we do over here, our TV shows and movies. It's just like...
I get it to a certain extent, but I do think that, like someone got mad at this singer because his music video had like all skinny people in it, and he like I genuinely believe that he just didn't think it, because I don't know, maybe he was just being fat phobic, who knows, but like they were so upset at him, and he was like, I genuinely just had my friends, like I didn't even think, Yeah,
and I don't even know who this is, but I believe that, because like up until the last 3-4 years, none of the stuff like that wouldn't cause a it's like, what's going on? You can't do anything.
I do think, and I know that, I'm not calling you old, but I know that I'm 26, and you just told me that you're, I'm not gonna say, but but I know that people think that that this generation has gotten like they make jokes about like how soft we are. I will say I stand on the fact that I as a Gen Zer, I'm very much like, I love the fact that people are holding people more accountable, like they're not letting like shit slide that people say and like that kind of thing. But I think it's overdone. Like now people like they don't even want to do interviews anymore, like these celebrities, because they're literally so scared to say something wrong.
Yeah. I don't like it. Out of anybody, I feel like a black man, if I'm saying say what you want to say, man. Like, I grew up in the 80s. Yeah. Like, go watch a movie from the 80s.
Yeah.
It will never be made today.
Because did you know that this is, you know what? This makes me highly upset. They are not doing a White Chicks 2 because of that.
Yeah, it's like, come on, man.
So if anything, I'm mad because they ain't making a White Chicks 2 because of y'all.
Yeah. It's like, it's killing, like, the comedy movies that were out.
Yep.
Before, they can't do them now. So it's killing, like, art.
Yeah. And even think about like comedians. This shit is taking a hit on their career because honestly, most if not all comedy feels like it's derived from either racist or
controversial.
Yeah, like it's like controversial. Like that's the whole point, is that they want you to be like, oh, like that's
stuff
the
you're
best
not supposed to say. Like
and it's
make
like,
it funny.
And I don't think that just because someone like. Obviously, I'm sure there's exceptions, but like I don't think that just because someone makes a joke, if we know that like you're a comedian, it's a joke. I think that sometimes it's funny. Just fucking laugh.
Right.
Like it doesn't have to be like, oh my god, you're made fun of someone in a wheelchair. You know what? That person in a wheelchair probably so happy that they thought of that.
Yeah. Most of the time, like those people don't care.
They don't.
It's the people that have the voice on like. With the media, they're the ones that
people are too worried about how someone else feels.
Yeah.
Like if that person is upset, let them speak out for themselves, but don't like, oh, you did this to this, but let Jimmy speak up then, about how they're feeling.
Yeah, we're on the same page.
Yeah,
but y'all are soft though. But you're a little on the cusp. I mean,
yeah, I am. I'm a
yeah,
cusp.
yeah,
Gen Z millennial baby.
Yeah. But let the people know once again, like, where can they find you if they want to check out your music, buy some music?
So on Instagram, my handle is @callmejaded. That's like faded, but with a J. Artist name is just Jaded. If you want to look me up on Spotify, excuse me, I just burped. On Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal, literally anywhere, anything, it will come up.
You're
TuneCore got me right. So Jaded, but I will say, and this is why I should probably change it to my real name. Jaded being so short, it doesn't like always come up, so you kind of have to type in like a project. So I recommend you type in Jaded Won't Ever Say, because it'll come right up with my album, and you'll see me with some plants on the floor and some green dress.
Are you on YouTube?
I am, yeah. YouTube, same thing. Call Me Jaded. I tried to make it like
Same across all platforms?
I think TikTok is like slightly. I think it's like Deanna Judeh. But they're all a variation. So yeah, Call Me Jaded. Instagram, again, I'm very active on Instagram, relatively active on TikTok, barely ever active on Facebook. Please don't even look me up on there. Yeah.
That's for us old heads. Huh?
I don't use Twitter, so Instagram and
I've
TikTok. Yeah.
X
Yeah. Sorry, Elon Musk. X. Yeah, that's how much I use that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I will follow you back, and yeah, just keep up with the projects. Like I said, I'm dropping that Halloween song, so that'll be out this Saturday. So that's something coming out.
This podcast probably won't be out by Saturday, but
okay,
if it is,
yeah.
But even if it's not, go look at go find the song.
Yeah, either way, go look up Freddy vs. Annabelle by Jaded featuring Rosario.
And if you made it this far, I would like to say I appreciate you. Like, share, subscribe, do all the YouTube things, and I will catch you in the next episode. Peace.
Thank you.
All right.
Thanks so much.
No problem.
That was fun.